Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. Today I want to talk about the Wildfire Furnace as the event comes to an end, and I want to talk about how much this costs a lot of the players in terms of resources, both gold resources and speed ups, to make sure that you get 2000 points every single day. And as you can see here, Valhalla from 38, they are doing really well. 136 is also doing really well, and then we have 209, 56, and 231 that are, following that a little bit further back. And of course, shout out to 73, 45, 143, and 170, and also 145 for making the top 10 of today. And if you look at the overall ranking that will be finishing tonight at mid reset, right? So I think this event is very costly, and a lot of the alliances, they bring out their ults coming into the Wildfire Furnace to donate and get this kind of stuff. Is it really worth it? I'm not 100% sure, because you require a lot of resources, and as you can see on my account, I haven't had this low amount of resources in very long time, and the only time that I have this kind of like low amount of resources is when I was basically researching an attack or building something like Castle 55, right? So that is kind of like worrying a little bit, because Castle 60 will be arriving in about 20 days time, and I want to have as much as resources as possible. But when this event kind of like makes you spend a lot of resources, like I haven't even done it today, but while we are talking about this video, let's do it here. So I spent roughly almost 2 billion in gold. Like with today, it's probably going to be like around 2 billion, right? So it's quite a lot of amount of gold to be spending on this, because when the Castle 60 arrives, you have to spend on probably on the dragons, right? And that is a couple like 200-300 millions on each dragon, or altogether I'm not sure how much it's gonna cost. And it's a good thing to have gold left over, because you have to have gold in case the boost update, where you go from 30 to possibly you go to 35 or even 40. So that is something like I kind of like worried about. And oops, that's went out. But yeah, that's one of the things that I'm worried about, because I don't mind spending the normal resources, but I don't want to spend the resources that I have in the backpack, right? I've been saving them for a while for Castle 60. I want to use them there, and you can't really farm enough the whole day, even if you basically boost your account with these boosters and send them out for gathering. You just won't be able to gather enough resources to be able to smelt enough points to reach 2000. And keep in mind, the reason why I'm not struggling that bad is because I basically maxed out the buildings and takes a long time ago, so I had time to save up the resources for the backpack. But the newer players, the newer servers, they will probably struggle a little bit more, because they don't have time, or had the same time as me, saving up, for example, 5 billion gold, saving up, for example, a couple of billions in the backpack from like the resources, right? And speed ups wise, it's definitely not worth using them in here. Probably the only thing that might be worth using is gonna be the what's it called, manufacturing speed ups for the garrison stuff. I mean, even those, I wouldn't be using them either, because I think it's just a waste of time, and it's not worth going for 10 points and you just basically spend 20 hours, right? That's, in my opinion, too much. But what can we do about it? And this is my opinion about this as well. So instead of we require 5 millions, since we require 5 millions of each, I think we should be lowering down to maybe 2 million or something. That would make sense, right? 2 million or 2.5, and then go to 1 million, because that would definitely help out a lot of the people, especially younger people, to the game, right? That would help out significant, because right now, even though I've been playing for a while, I think this is just becoming more and more exhausting for your warehouse and stuff like that, and I don't think that is really worth it for a lot of the people. And keep in mind, since this is the last day, I've got managed to collect basically 30,000 insignias if you count in with the insignias from the rankings when they finish the ends, right? So it would be around 30,000, and I'm wondering how much we're gonna need, right? Because that's gonna be way more than I think it's gonna be like. And I mean, one buildings, right? Is that gonna require like 1,000 insignia or something like that? Since we get these kind of numbers on insignias, and keep in mind, next week we do have Alliance Supremacy, or actually, yeah, next week actually starts tomorrow at reset, and we do also get insignias there as well. So we might end up having like possibly 60, 70,000 insignias before Castle 60 drops. That just tells me that the insignia requirement for each castle's or castle levels will be around like 1,000 or at least 2,000 per level, right? On each, for example, warehouse or something like that, and maybe even more for the main hall. But we will see when it comes down and everything is live. But for now, I just think that the resource requirement for a lot of these, like the Wildfire Furnace, is way too high. And what do you guys think about this? Do you think they need to change a little bit on that, or you think this is fine? Because as much as you want to get the insignias, do you want to spend extra resources from your backpack to do this event or not? Let me know in comment sections and the talk section in the game what you guys think. And that's pretty much it for me in this video and my thought process about Wildfire Furnace. Do you think still like, do I think this event is good? Yes, I do, but at the same time as it's good, it's very wasteful as well, because you know, I think the game just wants us to spend a lot of resources before the Castle 60, so the progress from 55 to 60 go a lot slower like the game intended to, right? So that's what I believe it happens. But yeah, that's pretty much it for me this video. Thanks you guys for watching, and see you guys in the next video.